You close the door, turn the key in the lock, and leave for work, confident that your cat will spend the next 8 hours in a blissful slumber on the couch. But have you ever wondered why, upon returning, you find objects shifted, pillows warm in the strangest places, and your pet's gaze suspiciously knowing? What if I told you that behind closed doors, a hidden life unfolds, full of boundary patrols, tactical ambushes on invisible enemies, and even deep psychological experiences that we haven't even guessed at for a long time? Thanks to modern technology like kitty cams, GPS tracking, and extensive research by ethologists, the veil of mystery has been lifted. Today on the Mindful Pause channel, we will break down minute by minute what your cat is actually doing when you aren't home. Watch this video to the end, because the latest scientific data on how cats feel your absence and perceive time will forever change the way you say goodbye to them in the morning. The first thing we need to understand is that for a cat, your departure is not just a pause in communication. It is a change in the mode of the entire home ecosystem. The 50 Cats study, conducted by the University of Georgia in collaboration with National Geographic, where miniature cameras were placed on domestic cats, showed startling results. Contrary to the myth that cats sleep 24 hours a day, their time budget while alone is distributed extremely efficiently. The first 15 to 20 minutes after you leave are dedicated to the inspection ritual. According to data published in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery, cats spend a significant portion of their waking time patrolling territory. In the absence of the human who usually occupies the central space, the cat begins to check the perimeter, sniffing corners, jumping onto high surfaces that might be off-limits when you are there, and refreshing its scent marks. This is instinctive behavior inherited from wild ancestors for whom boundary control was the only guarantee of survival. The second important block of their day is cat TV. If your cat has access to a window, know this: it is their main window into the world of dopamine. Research in applied animal behavior science confirms that visual stimulation from watching birds, insects, or simply passers-by activates the same neural pathways in the cat's brain as real hunting. Scientists call this vicarious predation. When a cat freezes at the window, its pupils dilate, and its tail begins to twitch characteristically. At that moment, a powerful release of neurotransmitters occurs in its brain. For a domestic cat deprived of the need to catch food, this is a critically important way to realize their hunting drive. However, there is a subtle point here. According to the Journal of Veterinary Behavior, if there are too many stimuli outside the window, for example, a bird feeder right against the glass, and the cat cannot physically complete the hunting cycle by catching something, it can lead to frustration and redirected aggression, which you will feel immediately upon your return. Now, let's talk about sleep. We know that cats sleep from 12 to 16 hours a day, but the nature of their sleep in your absence is radically different from how they sleep next to you. Research in the Journal of Sleep Research describes two types of sleep: slow-wave sleep, light dozing, and REM, deep phase. When alone, cats are much more likely to be in the dozing phase. Why? Neuroscience explains this through vigilance mechanisms. In the absence of the social partner, you, who takes on part of the territory protection duties, the cat's brain remains in a low-energy but high-readiness mode. Their ears continue to scan the space for sounds, and their muscles maintain a certain tone. Cats often postpone deep, restorative sleep for the evening when you return home, and they feel completely safe under your protection. Does separation anxiety exist in cats? For a long time, it was believed that being alone was a natural state for a cat. However, a 2020 study published in the journal PLOS One radically changed this view. Scientists found that about 13% of domestic cats show clear signs of separation distress. This can manifest in destructive behavior. A cat may start chewing plants, knocking objects off tables, or most sadly, exhibiting excessive grooming, licking themselves until they have bald spots. This isn't spite. It is a way of self-regulation through repetitive actions. Cats are creatures of habit, and the sharp disappearance of social contact causes an increase in their cortisol levels. Interestingly, cats living in pairs handle your absence more easily, but only if there is no hidden territorial conflict between them. How do cats perceive time? Owners often ask, Does the cat understand if you've been gone for 5 minutes or 5 hours? Research in behavioral processes shows that cats possess episodic memory and are capable of estimating the duration of intervals. They don't look at a clock, but they rely on biological rhythms and external markers. A cat notices the movement of the sun across the room, changes in the intensity of street noise, and even the fading of your scent in the air. Yes, exactly. Your scent in the house is a kind of hourglass. The weaker the smell of the owner, the closer the time for their return. This is confirmed by the fact that many cats begin to show activity and sit by the door 15 to 20 minutes before your actual arrival. They don't just hear the sound of your car or footsteps. They literally calculate the moment of your appearance based on accumulated experience. The topic of hidden hunting deserves special attention. Once left alone, a cat often begins to play with objects that do not interest it in your presence. This could be a forgotten hair tie, a candy wrapper, or even a shadow on the wall. Ethologists call this vacuum activity. In the absence of stimuli from a human, the cat is forced to create its own play environment. Research in environmental enrichment shows that cats left with puzzle feeders or hidden treats spend their time alone much more productively. Instead of passive waiting and accumulating stress, they engage in cognitive activity, which has a beneficial effect on their psyche. But what does a cat feel at the very moment the key turns in the lock? Many think their joy upon meeting is just anticipation of food, but science says otherwise. An attachment study at Oregon State University proved that for 65% of cats, a human is a secure base. Upon your return, an instant release of oxytocin occurs in the cat's brain. Loud purring, rubbing their head against your legs, and a tail held high like a tailpipe are not just requests to fill the bowl. They are a ritual of scent exchange and the restoration of a social bond. The cat is literally reincorporating you into its territory. To summarize, a cat's life without you is a balance between maintaining the instincts of a wild predator and a deep attachment to a social partner. It patrols your shared home, watches its nature TV, dozes at half strength, and counts the minutes until your return by the fading molecules of your perfume. To make the wait easier, science recommends giving the cat access to vertical surfaces, high shelves, providing a safe view from the window, and perhaps leaving a radio on with soft classical music. Studies have shown this reduces stress levels in lonely cats. Your cat is not just a silent roommate. They are a complex personality with their own internal schedule and feelings. Understanding what happens behind your closed door helps us become better friends to these amazing creatures. Write in the comments if you have noticed signs of a secret life in your pet. Have you found traces of their adventures after your return? We are very interested to hear your stories. Subscribe to Mindful Paws so you don't miss new discoveries in the world of animal psychology. Remember, when you leave, a piece of your cat's heart stays waiting at the door. Make that wait comfortable. See you in the next videos.